Hello guys, how's everybody doing today? Whoa, great to see all of you here today. Question I have today. Very good question. It's it could be a controversial question because many of us, we don't know the truth. You don't know the truth. Or you ever see that movie and the guy says, you can't handle the truth. You seen that movie, right? What's the name of that movie when he says, you want to know the truth? You really want to know the truth? You can't handle the truth. That movie. So let's go with the question. We're gonna spread some truth today, and some awareness, and some understanding, and some science to back it up. How about that, man? Let's throw some science in there for all the ones that said this is a bunch of hocus pocus. Let's throw the world of physics in there. All right. Question. Hello, Mark. Am I really a god? And do we really live in a simulation? Whoa. That's the touchy one there. How does it feel? Let me ask you a question. How would it feel to yourself if you say, I'm a god? Say that to yourself right now. Hold on, let me turn off my thing here. It's vibrating too much. Alright. There we go. I want you to go ask yourself right now, say, I'm a god. And watch the resistance you're going to get from inside of you. Most of you will get a resistance. Probably not most of you, but some people will get a resistance. So if you say I'm a god, what comes into your feeling? Well, if you're enlightened and a spirit, and you're on another level of awareness, you won't get any feelings. You'll feel like you're a god. But if you're not there yet, you will definitely get some resentment from your mind, and that resentment is a program they fed into you from you're a child. You see how that stuff works? So am I a god? Are we gods? And are we living in a simulation? The answer is yes to all of it. What is a god? Are there one god? They have gods. Remember, Greeks have their gods. West have their gods. Vedas. We got Anunnaki gods. We got these type of gods. We got God of the Christian Bible. God of this, God of that. So there's a whole bunch of gods. So there's not a singular God. So if you're smart, gods are made up. An alien is a god. A higher civilization could be a god. Someone with higher technology that comes and drops in on you right now. If their technology is so advanced, our brains would detect them and say, oh, you're a god. So I'm going to describe to you what the true definition of a god is, and why you are a god, and why you don't need anybody to tell you or to do something or to worship something, because you are the thing. A lot of people may not want to hear this, but what the movie says, you want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Can you handle the truth? All right, let's jump right into it. All right, we're going to go into the simulation, and then we're going to tie in the God stuff to make it better. See that? Look, I feel weird when you say I'm a god. I feel weird. Most of you feel weird because you were programmed not to accept that you are a god. You were programmed to accept that there's something outside of you that's controlling all of this. But my friends, I have some news to tell you. It may be empowering for some, it may be disheartening for others. Everything that is happening for you, everything and everyone that you're interacting with, the house you live in, the job you work at, the way you think, the friends around your life. You created it. There wasn't a God in the sky that plucked you here and said, all right, I'm gonna throw the odds at you. You did this. You manifested this. But let's get deeper, because many of you are saying, man, I don't manifest living in the struggle, man. What's going on? Well, we have to see now. What I'm going to teach you, you cannot use your logical mind. It's just not going to work. So let's go a little higher. Let's go beyond the mind, and let's go into physics and science and universe. Okay? So here's what you got to understand. Whenever you're in pain, okay, like physical pain, you feel the pain, correct? But there's two things happening. You are feeling the pain, while simultaneously you are aware of the pain. One person feels the pain. Just to make it simple for you, one person is watching the pain. This happens all the time. Otherwise, you would know you're in pain. One person is going through the struggle. One person is watching the struggle. One person is going through the success. One person is watching the success. There's always a watcher. There's always an observer. That is the God. That is who you truly are. That's called the God force, the higher self. What it does, it comes down into here to play a game with your body, or your whatever you want to call the being. It's all a game to it. Pleasure, pain, success, disappointment. It's just still the awareness. You see the awareness, if you notice, when you're in pain and when you're in pleasure, the awareness is still the same. You're just aware that you're in pain, you're aware in pleasure. Awareness can't change. It's just going to be aware. So if awareness can never change, that means everything that you're experiencing is really not a big deal to the awareness. It literally means that the higher self has done this before. Have you ever watched a movie and you watch it so many times? When somebody's watching it for the first time, they're getting all excited and they're jumping up and down, but you're just there because there's no emotion in you anymore, because you've seen this movie so many times, and you say, oh, this is the part where he's going to get the thing, or this part is funny, watch this part, and they start laughing, but they say, man, what? This is a good movie, aren't you? I says, yeah, I watch this movie 1,000 times. That's what's going on in your life. You've watched this movie 1,000 times, actually more than 1,000 times, maybe a quadrillion times, or infinite times, whatever we want to call it, right? So, how does this apply? What application can I use this for my regular daily life? Well, if you're always aware of something, then that means whatever you're going through is not really serious. It's all a game. You take it serious because from the God state, you morph into a human state. A human state is where you have feelings and observation and thoughts and da-da-da-da. So you walk around, that's a human state. And the human state adopted a friend to help it navigate the human state. That friend is called the ego, the conscious mind. So there's two people playing the game. So the God self of you is looking down, watching the little brother or the little kid, which is the ego self of you, run around and trying to make your life serious and try to say your life is this, your life is that. But in actuality, your life is none of that. Okay? So, what's the science that proves this stuff, man? The science is everything that you are seeing, you're actually not seeing. Everything that you're touching, you're actually not touching. It's weird. As I said, you can't use your logical mind to just follow along. Just get into. Let's not get into I want you to watch this with an open mind, because this is going to really make sense for you if you have an open mind, and the science will help you. So this world, it's not physical stuff. It's not real stuff, right? And we know that because we study the nature of reality. We study who we are, and we study what the building blocks of this world are, what we call it, right? The building blocks of all stuff is called quantized, quantum, particles, and little packets of energy. They're the building blocks of everything. And these little packets of energy they make up you and I. But the interesting thing about these little packs of energy, you know, the energy, the proton, electron, neutron, these interesting facts about these little packs of energy is that they are just energy. Like, I could take my fingers and I could pass through the atom. I could take my fingers and I could roll through the electron. The electron passes through me. So these little packets of energy, they cannot be a physical thing, right? So if I pass my hand through it, it's not real, it's not physical, it's the way we see it. And that's what we are. So we're these little packets of energy, and we just condense and we form different things. You form you, and I form the I, you form a car, you form a house. So it's the way these packets are organized that gives rise to the way they look at. So they'll split apart, they'll come together, they'll be the house, they'll be the air, the tree. It's all just a game that we're projecting, right? And who's the streamer of this stuff? The streamer is the higher self, the consciousness. It's streaming all this information down to you right here. So now, if you can activate your God self, that's when the power will come into your life. So how do you activate your God self? Where is the God self stored? Can you tell me where the God self is stored? If you can tell me where your God self is stored. Everything has a storage. Your phone has storage. It has memory. Your God self is stored in two places. The storage to turn on your God self, so that you go manifest big stuff, do the thing, create the life you want, it's stored in two places. Can anyone tell me? Oh, I see one place. I got one answer. I'm not gonna call it out yet, but someone got one of the answers right. So we got one, so we need one more. Where is the God force to turn on this power you have? Okay, I got all the answers. Good, you got it good. Your God self is stored in the unconscious, the subconscious, and it's stored right here. Right here. I'm gonna show you a trick. So if you want to boost up the pineal gland, the third eye, right? If you want to boost up your God self, like, you know, like when you play in a video game and you want to boost the power up to manifest more, like say before, like, I'll give you an example. Say like tomorrow you have to make a big presentation, or you have a big decision to make, or you want to make some more your trade or your investment, or you want to make some money or whatever, and you want to do something, you can actually turn on the power of your God self and you'll get the answer easy. So here's what you do. Take your finger and go right here. That's what I've been doing. I've been doing it for 2 years. I'm surprised I haven't made a video to show this one. Maybe I have, but not this one. So what I do, take my finger, anyone, and you just go right here. See right here? And look, you're gonna tap it. Look, watch. You're gonna tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop. Wait 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom! You just tapped up. You just create new levels of power. If you do that right now, you're gonna notice how you feel. So why did I do 8 times? Well, I do 8 because 8 is infinite. When I tap 8 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 seconds. You can do this for three sets, in about 3 sets. I'm activating infinity. This is actually opening the third eye. This is actually circulating the blood if it's clogged or whatever. You can actually open your third eye. But when you do this with the intention of what you ask, that's when you're going to get the answer. Because now the third eye has opened up. You know, the third eye can see beyond the normal realms of reality. The subconscious can see beyond the normal realms of reality. So when you have these two God forces in you, that's what you have to use to manifest and create your life. But so many people don't even know this. So many people think this is a bunch of baloney. Some people think it's not true. But we all know this is true, people. You know, in 2022, scientists won the Nobel Prize for showing that all of this is what I'm talking to you about is actually true. In 2022, they won the Nobel Prize for showing that the world we live in is not real, in layman's terms. So we live in a simulation. It's a hologram. Matter of fact, they showed that the world that we're living in is not even here. It's streamed from somewhere else, like a projection. That's what the paper said in layman's terms. In layman's terms, it said if the tree falls in a forest and no one is around to hear it, there's actually no tree falling in the forest. It doesn't exist until someone is around to see it. You ever hear that saying? When a tree falls in the forest, if someone around to hear it doesn't make a sound, actually, there is no tree. There's no tree. Because there's no one to observe it. So what they're showing is that nothing exists. Even your past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. The only thing exists is now in this awareness field. See how that works? So now, when you want to turn on, okay, first thing, you're gonna have to believe that you are a God, which you are. And you're gonna have to know that you are living in a matrix, like a video game world. You have to know those two things. If you don't know those two things, you can't turn on your God force. That's correct. There's only one eternal now. So you got to start getting into your God self, man. You have the power to change people, to change reality, to change the structure of the physical world around you. You don't even know it. They keep it away from you because it's too powerful, man. If too many people know this stuff, there isn't a society to run. Everything collapses. There is no education system. There's no more religion system. There's no banking system. There's no government system. We're going to have to build a whole new system. A whole new world. You have to build a whole new world, man. A lot of people don't want that to happen. So they have to keep this as tight-lipped. It's like a secret society. Only the secret society knows this stuff. They know amongst themselves, but there's always someone that's going to spill it out, and it starts to trickle out. So this is where you're getting this information now. And what they really bank on, I want to put it to, let me see, how can I make this simple for you? What they really bank on is, they bank on you not paying attention to this stuff. They bank on you not caring about this stuff. They bank on you being distracted by this stuff. So that's why they put a lot of stuff out there to distract you, like entertainment, all this stuff. They're banking on that for you. And then of course it's working, because a lot of people aren't following through, aren't understanding that they're a God. They're the universe mirror in itself as its being. And if you want to control your life and your simulation, you have to change the identity of who you are. Because you have so many different identities in you right now. You have an infinite amount of identities. Not only have an infinite amount of identities, you have an infinite amount of experiences happening right now. Not only have an infinite amount of experience happening right now, you have an infinite amount of wealth and abundance right now. Just like you have an infinite amount of lack and struggle right now. The both sides of the coin are the same. They're infinite. It just depends on which side you want to play the game. You want to play the game on the abundance side? Go right ahead. You want to play the game on the lack side? You can go right ahead, man. No, I'm not outside of Walmart. I'm by a Winn-Dixie. So, you're the one that controls the game with your mind. That's correct. The mind over the matter. Mind over matter. So, changing your identity means adopting the new you. And how do you adopt a new you to affect your God force? You adopt a new you by the imagination, by imagining the new you. What would the new you be doing? What does the new you look like? What is the new you wearing? How does the new you feel? And then once you get those things going, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to now feel what it's like to be the new you. What does the new you feel like when you have your stuff? And now when you get the feeling, here's a very important next part of it. You must make the feeling very normal. Because remember, there's infinite amounts of you living the best life. And those infinite amounts of you, their lives are normal. They're not like, oh my God, this is so fantastic. I'm so blessed. I got all this stuff. To them, they're like, this is my life. This is how you have to look at this. So when something comes into your life, it's normal to be wealthy. That's right. You just said, it's normal to be successful. It's normal for me to be healthy. It's normal for me to da-da-da-da-da. You got to do that, man. because there's two. Remember, there's two forces that activate the God force: the pineal, third eye, and the subconscious. The subconscious wants your life to be normal. Your subconscious does not want your life to be in a state of fantasy. Oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me. In a million years, I never thought I would have won this money. Oh my God, I never thought it would have happened to me, but it happened to me. You don't want to get into that stuff. You want to get into, I knew this was going to happen to me. I expected it to happen to me, and I'm so happy it happened to me. I'm good. I'm going on next. Yeah, I already knew this was going to happen, because that's your God force. You're going to get more of those stuff happening for you now. But if you don't expect it, you're like, oh my God, I don't know. Then you're in your matrix force, limitation force. So you got to make things the normal for you. And that goes with your identity. So something, how do you make something normal? By consistently visualizing it, consistently journaling it down, consistently writing it out. That's how you make something normal for you. And when something becomes normal, everything flows for you now. See that? You don't really have to struggle anymore. Now you know the game. The game is revealed to you. Now you can navigate the game and move ahead and do your thing. Because again, the physical world is not real. So your identity, you're correct, your identity is your personal reality, as my friend here says. You can say, I am loved, so I am loved. I love, so I am loved. You change your belief when you know you have your identity has been shifted, and you know that you're now in this God force. How do you know it? You will start to see, this is where evidence comes in now. You will start to see evidence around you of your change. And the first evidence that you've changed is your feelings. You know how you feel all the time. We all know how we feel. So you'll know when there's a different feeling coming in. You know when you feel not confident. You know when you feel lack, right? You also know when you feel confident. You also know when you feel abundant. You also know when you feel like everything is good. That's the sign that you've shifted your identity. Your feelings will tell you. Your feelings will say, man, things just feel cool and flow. I'm just good. Everything is going good. I'm not nervous. I'm not anxious. Congratulations. You have shifted your God self into identity. God is infinite, man. You are infinite. You and the kid. There is no beginning, and there can't be an end. That's a human construct we all make up when we come here. But if you go outside and we go into the laws of physics and the universe, space and time, well, space and time are interwoven. That's why it's called space-time. And it's a vacuum, and it's nothing, but yet it's something, because it really created, but a chapter was formed out of it. So before, there is no before, and there is no after. It's only now. So the universe, multiverse, it can't be a beginning. So that means whatever is there has always been there, and you're just a representation of whatever was there in a different form that we call human beings. So what powers your body? Someone asked me, what powers your body? What makes you alive? Go ahead, tell me. What is the thing that powers all of our cells? What makes you walk, talk? What makes you aware? What is the power in your body? Can someone comment below what powers your body? No, not your consciousness. Your consciousness is the receiver from the power. Electron, but what powers the electrons? Energy, electricity, electromagnetic, electricity, magnetism, what powers your heart? Electromagnetic energy, electricity. Your body produces a lot of electricity in a chemical form. So that is energy. First law, thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only change forms. That is a fundamental law. And so your body is a product of a form. This is your form, a human being at this point. You may go into another form that I don't know of, or we can't conceive, that we can't observe, or we can't understand, but you're definitely going to go back as a form or something else. You're not going to be always a human. You're going to be a higher, you're going to come back a human again and go somewhere else. Who knows? But I know one thing for sure, that all of this that's happening is fake. It's not real. It's a movie. It's an illusion. It's a simulation. I know one thing that's for fact, that there's never a beginning and it cannot be an end. I know one thing for fact is that I am an energy, because my body and all my cells are made to be powered by electromagnetic energy. That's one thing I know for a fact. So with that being said, I can shift. Well, also one thing I know for a fact is that I can change the world with my imagination. I've done this before plenty of times. When I won the lottery and I got this car, I did exactly that. I went in, I visualized what I did, and I tell you something, people, and I said it before, the way I visualized winning this car and winning the lottery to buy this car, it played out exactly the way I saw it in my head. It was so perfect that the day I won and I checked my ticket, I could not tell if I was in my head or if this was really happening, because it was so precise. That is clear evidence to me that I live in a simulation created and generated by my thoughts. This is why I put out this information, to show you this stuff. If it happens to me, it will happen to you, if you know how to do it. There is no one that can come to me and tell me otherwise, because I have my own experience. You cannot come to me and tell me that my thoughts and my imaginations does not create my reality. You cannot do that. Someone can tell it to you. You believe that? Hey, you shouldn't believe it. It is your imagination. It is your feelings. It is your expectations with repetition that creates your reality. That's correct. There's only one universal consciousness, streams in packets to each being, splits itself up. If you can see something in your head, you're gonna get it. If you do it repeatedly, there's no doubt you're gonna get it. Abstract said, that's how I got my new job. That's how you get everything, people. That's your God force. You see, if you couldn't do that, you couldn't be a God. What is a God? A God is a creator. A God is a manifester. A God makes things from the invisible to the visible. That's what you do every night when you visualize in your imagination. You're in the invisible. You're in a different dimension. It's visible in your mind's eye, but it hasn't been visible in the physical, what we call the physical, but it's still visible in a dimension. And what happens? It comes from the unseen and it comes into the physical where you experience it. That's the God. You know, the particles that make the entire universe is the same thing that's running through your blood. And plus, I told you the scientists won the Nobel Prize, right? So they showed not only that the universe is not non-local, that it's not here. They also showed, and they verified what we call quantum entanglement. They also proved that separation is also an illusion. You can't be separated. The tree next to you is not separate from you. Your money there's no separation in this game. The separation is a filter in your brain to make the game easier for you, to make it sense. If you walk around in a simulation and everything is just, you're walking around, the trees on top of you, your car's on top of you, your house inside of you, I mean, it wouldn't be a good way to do it. So your brain filters out to make things look separate. There's the distance over there. They give you distance, they give you proximity, but all of that still is an illusion. It's just a program to make the game easier for you to navigate it. So if separation is an illusion, look around you, man. It means you are the universe, the multiverse, and then you stream yourself as this God. So that's the important thing you have to understand, guys. is that you have to start accepting who you are. Not even who you are. We got to move away from the who, because we're not who's. We are what's. We're a what. I told you before. We are everything. Don't identify yourself as the who. Identify yourself as the what. When you're the what, everything is on the table. That's what I want to let you know today. Keep rolling.